Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to review all 8 games that are finished. I have 2 more games to watch tonight. Odds are by the time I'm done recording this and get this to upload, the other games will have already have started. But I got to find the time. I haven't had time to do anything else today, so might as well get this done. All right, starting off with the Anaheim Ducks and the Buffalo Sabres. The NHL knows how to show me a good time. Starting with this game. Gibson versus Luukkonen, good early back and forth. Ryan Johnson's denied from the slot. The Sabres press. In fact, the shots were 6-2 for Buffalo at 4.5 minutes. They dominated large stretches of this game. Greenway's denied on a break. Peterka has a turnover chance, that's saved. Middlestad's robbed in close, and at 9:07, Greenway opens the scoring for Buffalo from Cousins. It's a turnover and it's wired on zone entry, but Anaheim answers at 10 minutes and 10 seconds. Henrique. Barring in from the slot, Jones and Johnston with the assists, 1-1 tie. Sabres press with 7.5 minutes left. The Ducks get some pressure with 5 minutes left. Cousins has a 2-on-1 chance. That's saved. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Thompson fires one wide on a breakaway. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period. Early press by Buffalo. There's a near miss for Peterka from the slot. Robinson fires one high in a rush. The Ducks press 5 minutes in. Eric Johnson fires one high as the Sabres get some pressure. We get a power play for Buffalo. Thompson fires one high, and then his next opportunity goes in. It's a power play goal for Thompson from Dahlin and Cousins at 8:10. It's a one-timer, post and in. Sabres go back to the power play. That's killed off. The shots are 9-1 for Buffalo with 9 minutes left. However, Vetrano buries a loose puck behind Luukkonen from McTavish and Terry at 11:59, and then it's a cross-ice pass and buried for the lead as Vetrano scores the second of the period at 14:34 from McTavish and Terry again. At 15:20, during a delayed penalty, Benson scores from Yoki Haru and Peterka. That seemed to be an ongoing theme today, burying pucks during delayed penalties. But Anaheim gets the lead back again at 18:56. It's Terry from McTavish, and it's another one that leaks through Luukkonen. That's also during a delayed call. So that makes it 4-3 for Anaheim after 2. Third period, early press for Buffalo. Ducks had the only shot on net 6 minutes into the period. Not a lot of chances. Skinner has a sharp angle shot, that's held. The Sabres press at 9 minutes. The Ducks press with 6.5 minutes left. Luukkonen holds on there. Dahlin has a one-timer kicked aside, 2:09 left. The Sabres call a timeout. With 1:40 left, they pull the goalie. With 1:18 left, that ends. The Ducks get a power play. They'd pull the goalie to make it 5-on-5, but Anaheim wins this one 4-3. They go to 20, 33-2 with the win. Buffalo 24, 27-4 with the loss. It feels like Buffalo and Ottawa keep losing games that on paper they should win. Shots on net, 15-4 Buffalo in the first, 12-9 for Buffalo in the second, 10-2 Buffalo in the third. Final shots 37-15 for the Sabres. Power plays, Anaheim was 0 for 1. Buffalo 1 for 2. The hits 24-13 Anaheim. Gibson saves 34 out of 37. Luukkonen had a rough day. 11 saves on 15 shots, and at least 2 of these are ones he should have had and almost had and didn't. All right, next up, we're going to talk about Dallas and Boston. So this was a good back and forth matchup. I thought Dallas played really, really well. Swayman kind of steals this. So it's Ottinger versus Swayman. They had a ceremony for Marchand for his 1,000th game, which was earlier in the week. Zacha is denied from the slot. The shots are 4-1 for Dallas at 3 minutes, but on a tic-tac-toe play, Boquist gets a goal to open the scoring for Boston. Richard and McAvoy with the assists at 4:01, so there's Richard on the board. Bruins look for another. The Stars in today's game without Hakanpää, Heiskanen, or Lundqvist on the blue line. Pouliot was on the second power play unit. Back-to-back icings by Boston. DeBrusk has a net feed that's picked off, and then Johnston deflects one in. Harley and Ben with the assists at 11:14, ties the game at 1. Bruins look to respond. The Stars draw a power play. That's killed off. We then had a fight between Hanley and Marchand. Not a lot of punches thrown, but still, they have a wrestle down to the ice. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period, early press by Dallas, and they would score. Suter scores from Hintz at 1:04. It's through a screen from the point. And then Brazeau gets his first NHL goal. I think he's 23, 24, 25, somewhere in that range. Boquist with the assist at 1:32, and he scores that one from the doorstep. Nice to see him get that first NHL goal. Frederick's denied on a breakaway. The Stars press at 5 minutes. The shots are 8-4 Dallas, 6.5 minutes in. Carlo then prevents a Harley goal. That one was going in. Power play for Boston. That's killed off. The Stars press after it's done. The Stars then end up going to the power play. Grizzlick has a fast break chance that saved. That power play's killed off. Delandry then has a net drive that's defended. The Bruins press in the final minute. And with 11.3 seconds left, the Bruins go to the power play. So it's 2-2 after 2. We're going to the third. Marchand has a one-timer that's caught and held. The Stars finish the kill. 2 shots on net for Boston during that. The puck was in the Bruins net after the whistle. Yeah, you do that. That's going to draw a crowd. So it does, because you can't score after the whistle. Stars press at 4 minutes. Harley has a wrister kicked aside. Things get pushed in a hole by Swayman. Shots are 7-6 Dallas at 9 minutes. Swayman's the reason this is staying tied. Stars are controlling things, and then on a turnover, Lindell puts Dallas ahead at 10:44 on a rush chance, makes it 3-2. Bruins press with 3.5 minutes left. They pull the goalie with 2:10 left, and who's going to score? Pastrnak, because of course McAvoy and Marchand with the assists at 18:15, and it's a one-timer from the left circle. It's kind of his spot. So we go to overtime. Dallas 7-6 in overtime. Boston 5-9. Bruins control early. Ottinger poke checks Marchand. There's a post for Harley. Pasternak's tonight on a net drive, but we go to the shootout. The shootout took forever. It took until round 9, where McAvoy finally puts me out of my misery and gets the goal. So it's a shootout victory for Boston. This, of course, is what I want to see, right? Both teams get a point. Boston 33-12-11 with the win. Dallas with the shootout loss 34-14-8. Shots on net 13-7 Dallas in the first, 22-12 Dallas in the second, 10-9 Boston in the third. In the overtime, shots were 2-1 for Dallas. Final shots 46-30 for the Stars. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 2. The hits 28-21 Dallas. Ottinger saves 27 out of 30. Swayman 43 saves on 46 shots. So that was kind of fun. And next up, Toronto. Toronto, pretty good time for them. And for St. Louis, tough result when you look at the result over here. St. Louis not that far above a team that's right there. And another team that's right there won today as well. So the race in the West is getting interesting. So it's Samsonov versus Hofer in this one. Nylander has a rush chance that goes wide. Things get pushy on a hold by Samsonov. Post for Matthews on a rush. Kyrou nearly scores on a net drive. The shots on net are 2-1 for St. Louis at 6 minutes. Nyes has a rush chance that's saved. McCabe fires one wide as the Leafs press. The Blues are blocking the Leafs out pretty well at this point. There's a net feed to Nylander. That gets picked off. Blues press with 7 minutes left. Kapanen couldn't bury one in close. The Leafs then get some pressure with 2 minutes left, but it's 0-0 after 1. Second period, 22 seconds, and off of a Blues turnover, the Leafs make them pay. It's Nyes from Matthews and Marner. So there's Matthews on the board with a helper. Shen then can't bury one. The Leafs clear it out after that. The teams exchange rushes. The shots are 4-2 for Toronto at 4.5 minutes. Blues press at 6 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. There's a shorthanded 3-on-2. Samsonov holds there. That is killed off. Blues press with 7 minutes left. The Leafs then get their chance with 7 minutes left to get some pressure as well. The fans call one. The referee does not. We do get a power play for the Blues not long after. It feels like that's definitely a thing. The referee doesn't call that one, but looks for the next one. Buchnevich is denied, but then Saad is not. He buries it from the slot just with like a second left in the power play at 17-14. Parayko and Sundqvist with the assists ties the game at 1. Marner misses one wide from in close. The Leafs press with a minute and a half left, but it stays 1-1 after 1. After 2. We're going to the third. The Leafs get a power play 4 seconds in, and 44 seconds in they score. It is Matthews from Marner. That is goal number 49. He buries that one from the slot, so Marner gets the turnover, and Matthews gets the goal. Neighbors has a rush that's defended. Matthews' next chance is held. Kessel has a shot that's blocked as the Blues press. Shots are 5-3 for Toronto at 6 minutes. We get a power play for the Blues. There's a shorthanded rush by Marner, and on the next shorthanded chance, on a breakaway, Nylander scores at 7:29. The Leafs then finish the kill. That's the most important part. Now they're up 3-1. Robertson to Tavares. Tavares gets tripped. There's no call on that play. The goalie pull happens with about 4 minutes left, and at 18:52, a point shot tipped in. Last I looked, it still said it was Krug's. It may be Buchnevich's, but Thomas and Buchnevich with the assists on that makes it closer. They pull the goalie again, and Bobby McMahon hits the empty net to stay red hot scoring-wise at 19:22. Your final score is 4-2 for Toronto. They go to 30-16-8 on the season. St. Louis 29-24-2. Shots on net are 6 apiece in the first, 14-7 Toronto in the second, 9-8 Toronto in the third. They do outshoot St. Louis 29-21. Power plays, both teams go 1 for 2. The hits 22-19 for Toronto. Samsonov saves 19 out of 21. Hofer Saves 25 out of 28. All right, and the game that everybody's going to be wanting to watch, so the timestamp's 10:03. Vancouver and Minnesota. I'm still mad. I'm just going to be honest. I'm still mad. I'm going to do my best not to let the mad show through, but you can't have this. You just can't. I know we're there in the standings. I know it's one game. I know you don't overreact, but you just can't have this. This is ridiculous. So it's DeSmith versus Gustafsson, and I know people are going to put this on DeSmith. I don't think it would have mattered if you put Demko and DeSmith in the net at the same time. I still think the score would have been similar. So early press by the Wild. Rossi has a screenshot that's held, and on Vancouver's first shot, they score. Cole scores from Myers and Suter at 2:51. It's through a screen. The Wild wanted a call on the play because Myers bumps a player out of the way. Probably should have been an interference call. It's not called. So the Wild get a power play. That becomes a minute and 27 seconds of 5-on-3. Boldy to Kaprizov. There's a near miss. The Canucks kill that off. I don't know if it went to their heads. I don't think it did, but that was the last 5-on-3 they killed today. So the press by the Wild happens at 7.5 minutes. We have a near miss for Middleton on a rush. Canucks press at 9.5 minutes. There's a blocker save on Merrill as the Wild press. And then on their second shot, Vancouver scores again. It's Miller from Juleson at 13:21. And it takes a Canucks bounce over to Miller and it goes in the net. So the Canucks have been outplayed, but they're up 2-0. Wild press to respond. Eventually they do. In the last minute of the period at 19:09, Eriksson Ek, it goes off of his skate. Boldy and Kaprizov with the assist. They didn't challenge, which is a good thing because that goal would have stayed. So it's 2-1 Vancouver after one. And I felt like, they're kind of lucky they're up 2-0, or 2-1, I should say. And yeah, second period. Early Canucks power play, that's killed off. One shot. Canucks press after it ends. Myers has a net feed, that's blocked. Canucks press at 4.5 minutes. Suter's denied. The Wild failed to clear. Eventually, Vancouver scores to make it 3-1. Pettersson from Höglander and Lindholm at 5:36. Blocker side during extended press. Good play there. Canucks press for another. We get a power play for Vancouver, and they score on it. They're up 4-1. It is Miller from Suter at 14:10. That's a hat trick. He roofs it. There you go. Garland takes a shot to the knee. He exits. Now, keep in mind that this is a team that's already missing Joshua, so that third line really helping the Canucks, and minus the third line, look what happens. So the Wild press with 4 minutes left, with 2:03 left, it starts. And this is where it's a complete and total mess. It's a power play for the Wild, and then it becomes a minute and 9 seconds of 5-on-3. They score during the 5-on-3. It goes in off Cole's skate. It's Zuccarello from Kaprizov and Eriksson at 19:27. Then it becomes 57 seconds of 5-on-3, which rolls over into the third period, where during the 5-on-3, Minnesota scores. Eriksson Ek from Zuccarello and Hartman at 29 seconds. Then there's a delay of game call. It's a minute and 4 seconds of 5-on-3 as I'm having fun. Kaprizov from Zuccarello and Boldy at 1:23. And then, hey, can they kill the 5-on-4? No. Eriksson Ek gets the second of 3 hat tricks on the day. He scores that one from Zuccarello and Kaprizov at 1:44. And then, well, the floodgates are open. Why close them? Rossi scores from Lucchini at 4:46. And then, hey, you know what would be funnier? Yeah, they scored again while I was saying that. Kaprizov from Boldy at 5:12. I'm done with notes. The notes were finished on this game. I knew it was just not going to work out with notes. So eventually the Canucks answer at 8:24. It's Zadorov from Miller and Suter. Canucks get a power play. That's killed off. And then it's Brock Besser. He scores during the 6-on-5 at 17:52 from Hughes and Hronek. They're only down 8-7. Can they do it? No. I wouldn't be mad if they did it. Well, I might be. I might still have been mad if they did it. So empty netters, starting with Brodin from Eriksson Ek at 18:53, and then you pull the goalie so you can allow that 10th goal. Kaprizov into the empty net for the third hat trick of the day at 19:58. So if you have the Minnesota Wild in your pool today, you won. 10-7, 26, 23, and 6 is the record for Minnesota. Mercifully, this is only one game. The Canucks dropped to 37, 14, and 6. I don't want to hear anything about the Canucks being the best team in the league. Next power rankings. Don't want to hear it. Shots on net, 8-4 Minnesota in the first, 12-9 Vancouver in the second, 10-8 Minnesota in the third. The odd part is there was only 51 shots in the game. There's 17 goals. Final shots are 27-24 for Minnesota. Power plays, Vancouver 1 for 3. Minnesota 4 for 6. The hits, 20-19 Vancouver. DeSmith, 17 saves on 25 shots. That's right. It's all in here because there's no room here. Gustafsson saves 11 out of 16. And Fleury, 6 saves on 8 shots at the other end. All right. Now we're going to go to board number 2. All right, the second board, a lot lighter on the goals, even though you got 2 games with 9 goals in them. So we're going to start with Detroit and Seattle. Detroit's kind of salvaged the road trip. Lyon versus Decord in this one, early press by the Kraken. Perron has a chance that's blocked. The shots are 4-1 Seattle at 3 minutes. Schwartz has a rush chance that's saved. We get a power play for Detroit. There was a shorthanded slap shot by Gord that gets saved. Power play's killed off, but then Sider scores at 13:30 from Kane and DeBrincat, so that makes it 1-0. And then with 3:23 left, the Kraken get a power play looking for the tie. They'd tie it. McCann, a one-timer bar down. Dunn and Burakovsky with the assists at 18:32. It's 1-1 after 1. Second period. Kopp's denied on a breakaway. Decord holds there. Tanev's then denied and close. It's cleared. The shots are 3 apiece at 4.5 minutes. Larkin has a shot that's held as the Wings press. And then at 7:18, Raymond buries a rebound. Comfer with the assist. It's 2-1 Detroit, which was interesting because I thought Seattle was controlling a lot of the game to that point. Fisher has a sharp angle shot saved. There's a post for Tatar in a rush. The Kraken press at the half, and eventually they score. McCann buries his own rebound. I think it was like his third try. It goes in. Alexiak and Borgen with the assists at 10:51. Ties the game at 2. The Wings press are kept to the outside. Kane has a net feed that's picked off, but then former Seattle Kraken member Daniel Sprong scores to put Detroit back into the lead from Christian Fisher at 15:58. It's 3-2. Wings press for another. Larkin takes a helmet to the chin. It was from Tanev because Tanev's shorter than he is, so no penalty. But it's 3-2 Detroit after 2. Third period, Gord has a net drive that's blocked. The Kraken press are kept to the outside. Mata has a screenshot that's held. Shoulder save then on McCann, who's looking for the hat trick, right? Beniers with a near miss as the Kraken press. Wings press at 5 minutes. There's a near miss for Burakovsky, more pressure. And during a delayed call, which is the storyline today, Schwartz scores from Gordon Borgen at 7:24. Gordon Borgen. That's interesting. Put those together, it sounds like I'm speaking in another language. Gordon Borgen. All right, Kraken press with 7 minutes left. Crossbar out for Kane. I need a break. 1:54 left. The Kraken get a power play, so that rolls over into the overtime. The Wings finish the kill, and then at 1:07, Sherratt. It's a turnover by Dunn. Larkin and Raymond with the assists, and so Detroit wins this one in overtime 4-3. They go to 29-20-6 on the season. For Seattle, 23, 21, and 11. So 11 overtime or shootout loss points for them. Shots on net, 15-6 Seattle in the first, 15-13 Detroit in the second, 12-10 Seattle in the third. Both teams have one shot in the overtime. Detroit's the one that matters. Final shots, 41-32 Seattle. Power plays, Detroit 0 for 1, Seattle 1 for 2. The hits, 16-8 Seattle. Lyon saves 38 out of 41. Decord 28 saves on 32 shots. All right. Moving along. Next up, I don't know why I'd be angry because people keep telling me I'm not a Canuck fan, so I shouldn't be angry about the Canucks. Anyways, Oiler fans were almost angry today too, but they got it together. Skinner versus Villalta in this one. I felt bad when I saw Villalta's name as the starting goalie because, against Edmonton, really? Didn't we learn earlier in the season from Corona? Anyways, Bukestad with a net drive that's blocked. We get a power play for the Oilers, and they score on it. Draisaitl roofs one short side. McDavid and Bouchard with the assists at 2:12. Bukestad, former Oiler, he had a cup of coffee in Edmonton. But Bukestad would answer from Krause and Dumba at 4:15. Coyotes press at 5 minutes, but Janmark has one that deflects in. Kulak and Desharnais with the assists at 6:07. The Oilers have the lead back 2-1. The shots are 5-2 for the Oilers at 8 minutes. Teams exchange rushes. We get a power play for the Oilers. That's killed off. Nugent Hopkins hits a crossbar. The Oilers press with 3 minutes left. But yeah, they're up 2-1 after 1. Second period. Power play for Arizona, and they score on it. Keller from Schmaltz and Durzi at 2:53. It was a give and go and buried, and I thought, hey, maybe Arizona won't lose that 10th in a row. I won't have to do a Coyotes video on it. Sorry. But yeah, the shots are 4-2 for the Oilers at 6 minutes. Holloway has a net drive that's blocked. Durzi has a shot blocked as they press. Gunther with a one-timer that's saved, and then Bukestad goes over the blocker on a rush. His second goal of the game from Keller at 10:52. Coyotes were doing a really good job in that period limiting chances against. The Oilers had very, very little. There were a lot of Oiler fans in that crowd. They did not have anything to cheer about in that second period. Pressed by Arizona with 3.5 minutes left. This is where the Oiler fans are getting kind of restless. Things get pushy at the horn. It's 3-2 Arizona after 2. But third period, the Oilers line juggling, and it works. There were 3 Coyotes icings in a row, so they're kind of pinned down a bit. Zucker then has a chance to save. The Oilers were drawing a power play, but during the delayed penalty, the Oilers score. It's Kane from Bouchard and Ekholm at 4:28, so Kane's got a 20-goal season. The Oilers press for the lead, and they get it. At 4:54, Hyman tips one in. Ekholm and Bet Bouchard with the assists. The Oilers look for more. It's all Edmonton, and at 6:31, Kane gets the second of the game. McLeod and Draisaitl with the assists. The Coyotes press. The Oilers block and clear. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. The Coyotes press with 4.5 minutes left. With 4:25 left, the Coyotes get a power play. That's killed off. Arizona pulls the goalie, which means Fogle hits the empty net at 18:51. McDavid and Draisaitl with the assists. McDavid, 12 assists in 4 games. It's what he does. Your final score is 6-3 for the Oilers. They go to 33-18-1 on the season. The Coyotes 23-28-4 with the loss. The shots on net 7 apiece in the first, 9-7 Arizona in the second, 12-9 Edmonton in the third. Final shots 26-25 for the Oilers. Power plays, both teams go 1 for 2. The hits 27-17 for Arizona. Skinner saves 22 out of 25. Villalta 20 saves on 25 shots. He tried. If you're going to give a guy a first start, I'm not sure I'd go with Edmonton, but he tried. All right, next up, Winnipeg and Calgary. Remember when Winnipeg had the not allowing more than 3 goals rush? Yeah, that's done. That streak is done, and they can't get a new one going either. So it's Hellebuck versus Markstrom, and at 4:19, Shellington scores to put Calgary ahead, but Winnipeg would answer. They get a power play. They score on it at 6:07 as Sean Monahan tipping one in. Connor and Velarde with the assists, and then at 6:49, Monahan gets a second. DeMello and Morrissey with the assists. The Jets go back to the power play, easy for me to say, and they score again. And it's Monahan again, natural hat trick, the second he's had in his career. Velarde and Connor with the assists at 11:24. This looks like it's going to be a laugher in favor of Winnipeg. However, at 14:09, Coleman tips one in. If he gets going again, Flames are going to be dangerous. Mangiapane and Backlund with the assists. There's a power play for the Flames. A shorthanded Monahan rush is caught and held. Power play's killed off, so Monahan going for 4. After the first period, it's 3-2 for Winnipeg. The second period, Flames have a 3-on-2 that's defended. Kadri's denied on a rush. We get a power play for the Flames, and they score. Kadri tips one in. Uyghur and Huberdeau with the assists at 4:58. The teams then exchange turnovers. Perfetti has a net feed that's picked off. He hasn't had a point in months. Flames press at the half. I know that because it's been over a month because of the preview I did this morning, or last night. I don't know what is time. The Flames press at the half. The shots are 6-5 for the Jets with 9 minutes left. Huberdeau to Sharon Govich gets picked off. Flames press with 5 minutes left, and Huberdeau ends up scoring. He gets a goal from Anderson and Sharon Govich at 16:05. It's suddenly 4-3. He taps one in from the side of the net. Third period, Uyghur has a shot that flecks out. Perfetti has a shot that's held. The shots on net are 3-2 for the Jets, 5 minutes in. Good Flames forechecking. There's a near miss for Kadri. The Jets clear. Morrissey has a shot that's held on the face-off win. Power play for the Jets with 8:58 left. That's killed off. And then at 13:18, Mangiapane buries one on a rush from Kadri. So that's right after the power play was done. Flames press for another. The goalie pull happens with 2.5 minutes left. And Kadri would hit the empty net from Rasmus Anderson at 18:03. Your final score is 6-3 for Calgary. They go to 26-25-5 on the season. Winnipeg 33-15-5 with the loss. Shots on net 13 apiece in the first, 12-8 Calgary in the second, 10-9 Winnipeg in the third. Final shots 34-31 for the Flames. Power plays Winnipeg 2 for 3. The Flames 1 for 2. The hits 23 apiece. Hellebuck saved 28 out of 33. Markstrom saved 28 out of 31. All right, and the last game to review now, Vegas and San Jose. And this one was kind of done early. So it's Thompson versus Blackwood, and at 2:28 on their first shot. After San Jose had a lot of opportunities, well, Vegas scores on their first shot on a breakaway. It's Amadio from White Cloud. So that's how San Jose's season's gone. Vegas looks for another, and they get it. At 4:24, it's Carlson from Martinez and Stone. Vegas presses, 9.5 minutes in. The shots on net are actually 9-8 for the Sharks with 7.5 minutes left, although I believe they had the first 6 shots. 6 shots before 2:28. I think that's what it was. Vegas presses with 4 minutes left with 2:30 left. Vegas gets a power play, and Morelli, 28 years of age in his first NHL game, he gets a goal. This is the storylines that I love. These are the storylines I love. Morelli at 19:11 from Pietrangelo and Martinez. So at age 28, he gets his first NHL goal. Good for him. It's 3-0 Vegas after one. Game's done, right? Kind of, yeah. Second period, power play for the Sharks. Granlund has a shot that's held. It's killed off. Vegas then gets a power play. Stevenson's absolutely robbed. It's killed off by Blackwood, really. Sharks press with 8.5 or at 8.5 minutes. The shots are 7-5 for the Sharks at the half. Press by Vegas with 7.5 minutes left. We get a power play drawn by Vegas. There's a shorthanded Cunnin chance that's saved. That power play's killed off. Sharks press after the kill. Carpenter's denied from the slot. And then Colasar buries one in close to make it 4-0. Martinez and Morelli with the assist at 18:44. So there's Morelli. It's his first NHL game. As far as I know, it's his first NHL game. I'm pretty sure it is. He gets a goal and an assist. So there you go. He can go to every single coach that turned him down, every GM that wouldn't call him up and say, see, I told you I'd get 2 points a game in the NHL. Nobody listened. Third period, Cotter's denied and close. We get a power play for Vegas. That was killed off. No really good looks, but they're not trying to. They're just trying to kill the clock at this point, make sure nobody gets hurt. Shots are 2-0 Vegas at 7 minutes. Vegas presses at 9 minutes. There weren't really many chances either way throughout most of the period. With 2:12 left, Vegas gets their 5th power play, and they cycle. They protect the shutout. Of course, they get it. 4-0. There's the Tony the Tiger magnet. Vegas goes to 32-17-6. They have to send a care basket to the Minnesota Wild because they get within, I think it's 10 points back at Vancouver. It's a lot. For San Jose, they're 15-35-5 on the season with the loss. Shots on net, 16-9 Vegas in the first. 14-7 San Jose in the second. 7-3 San Jose in the third. Final shots, 30-26 for the Sharks. Power plays, Vegas 1 for 5. San Jose 0 for 1. The hits, 19-14 for San Jose. Thompson, 30 saves for the shutout. And Blackwood saved 22 out of 26, which I don't think tell you how well. I don't think those stats tell you how well Blackwood played. Either way, that's that. 2 more games tonight, so I'll be reviewing them later. I also have to do a news video and probably do another video goodness piece for all you fine people on the internet. So thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you haven't already. But yeah, I will talk to you again soon.